Clint's like, you thought I was rusty. Oh, yes. I was waiting for this. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Hawkeye. We're now into episode 3, which is called Echoes. So we had a first 2 episodes, which are kind of like a extended premiere of the series. We got to meet Kate, who's going to clearly follow in Clint's footsteps at some point. And just in this last episode, we ended with Clint trying to make sure that this whole situation with the suit and with Kate is kind of wrapped up. And Kate, blessing her, bless her heart, thinking that she had to save Clint, and in fact, just putting them in a much more precarious position. We ended the episode with the two of them kind of bickering over the fact that Kate had the best of intentions, but sadly made things a little bit worse. And now we get to see kind of how they're going to get their way out of this. And we were also introduced to who might be a villain. She seems to be heading up the tracksuit mafia. So I'm ready to get into this episode and find out exactly what's going on. But before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully you'll enjoy everything and you'll hit that like button because it helps the algorithm to know that this is indeed stuff to watch. And if you really like it, then maybe you'll hit that subscribe button and join the fam. And if you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. Hopefully this time you'll think about hitting that subscribe button because we're on a journey to 10K and it would be awesome if you were there with me. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into episode 3 right about now. Oh, is she lip reading? Is she deaf? She's like, excuse me, this is some basic stuff and I'm a genius. Can we elevate the level, please? Oh, she is deaf, okay.
But dragons live in a different world.
Not gonna lie, it is so refreshing to see a Native American actor. Need more. Right? It's kind of hard to be the only one in class.
See, you are one of a kind.
Sweet. But that's not what she meant.
But in the end, it'll be better for you.
It's hard though. I am not deaf, obviously, but I've heard that for a lot of people who are hard of hearing or deaf, to be constantly around people who don't know how to sign or are not aware of the fact that they need to look at you to speak. It just is very hard and exhausting for deaf people. So I don't know. I mean, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it, but still sad.
Uncle will take you home after class. I'll see you tonight.
What are you up to, Dad? Who's Uncle? Oh, wow. Okay. Maya's got a lot going on. I'm glad that it's not holding her back in any way. Good on her dad. Maya said, thank you for underestimating me. Oh, Maya. She ragey. She's very perceptive. Uh-oh. Okay, so let me guess. Maya loses her dad. This is her villain origin story. Oh no, Clint. Oh no, your daddy was a bad man or your uncle was, or both. Wait, if your daddy was a bad man, then how the hell couldn't he afford deaf school? Oh. Fly away from here. Why are you so poetical right now? Little dragon. Oh, I like that. Oh, looks like he was a good dad, but what were you into, sir? What happened? Were you collateral damage? Or did your daughter just not know all you was into? Oh, I knew there was going to be the handprint on the face. Okay, now we know a bit more about why she's got a very, very valid vendetta against the Ronin.
Guy riding pony. That would smile more.
Bored.
Great.
Go get my porters.
Yes.
This is boring. Let's play cards.
Did I not just say?
I was about to clear your name from the suit until you decided to crash through the sky.
Maybe you should stop talking.
Imagine Dragon's tickets. As like early Christmas.
I can't! She wasn't serious.
Look, I think you both owe apologies. Tell her she hurt your feelings, but
Clint's like, I'm going to stab myself in the eye with this imaginary unicorn horn.
Okay.
Oh. Do you still feel the same now that you're both hard of hearing?
More cookie, please. Thank you.
You rely too much on technology.
Well, my go-to weapon is 2 sticks and string, so.
Now she needs your hearing aid. You might find you're better off without it.
He's been hearing his whole life, though. It's not the same.
Because he's dead.
Very true.
And is dead.
Yeah. Relax, Maya. Breathe.
We're gonna get out of this. You go back to living your life. I'll go back to my family. You gotta harness that overconfidence of yours, okay? It's ridiculous. Overconfidence. You remember that one?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a reason they had his hands tied in the front, but I guess y'all didn't ask. Oh, that did not look like it was planned. Okay, we get it, Maya, you're a badass. But unfortunately, she does have valid beef with Clint. Not a real leg. She gonna step on that hearing aid now because she's mean. Told ya. But she's not wrong though. I mean, if his hearing is going, he should learn how to fight without it. I mean, I know he doesn't really want to fight anymore, but you get it. Wow, everyone's like, Marvel's really liking these following shots from the side, huh? Shang-Chi, now this. Woo! These sexy shots. My guy is so good. He can hover. Can you hover? Yeah, and you thought he was impressive because you could do a few trick shots. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. Go shopping, bitch. Woo! Clint's like, you thought I was rusty. Oh, yes. I was waiting for this.
I was doing fine.
Shut up. Get out of there. Maya's not no one to be trifled with. Let's go.
But that girl still has my bow.
Oh, well. You're rich. You can definitely buy another.
I'm not hearing you. You drive, okay?
Now! You know, these guys are actually pretty bold knowing that this guy's literally friends with the Hulk, with a god of thunder. Tosta, bro, I can't. I'm so over it.
Definitely not this one.
All right, you don't have to say definitely
one.
like that. All right, how about this one? Fine.
He can't hear you.
Play-Doh arrow?
I can't see nothing. Hit the wheels with the putty arrow.
Oh,
The
great idea.
wheels.
As soon as you label these damn things.
Well, they're his air. Kate,
You know, this would be a lot easier if we were facing the other way.
You were facing the other way.
Yeah, just a...
look at them finally thinking alike, bonding a little. Okay, there's the explosive one. Kate, listen, sweetie, are you ready to add murder to your resume? Because
A plunger arrow? What is a trick that is completely useless?
it's probably not what it seems. Oh no, you've ruined so many people's Christmas. Those trees died for nothing.
Please be a good one.
I'm sorry, it's funny. Kate, you could have shot out the wheels of this Charger already. Forget what Clint said. And here she wants her bow back. Like, ma'am, you could buy literally an entire bow factory. Good night. Ooh. You should probably stop driving now. I know that you couldn't see, but that really shouldn't have affected like your driving foot.
Really can't see. Thank you.
Ah! Jesus. She was like, I was about to die. This is why you wear your seatbelt, little girl.
Take out that truck. Aim high. Bring the arrow down on him. I have no idea what you're saying.
This is great. What you gonna do, Clint? What you gonna do, bro? He's so good. He's like, I did that.
What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know how to make this useful.
Just, you know, download some stuff from their brains.
You do not want to see what this arrow does. Trust me.
Follow me.
Scream! Oh my god! Oh, the famous move. She wanted to do it so bad. Look at that. She got the full Hawkeye experience. Now I don't want to hear another complaint out of you, Kate. Almost died and everything. Happy?
I get the whole pleasure arrow thing.
Yeah, you do now? Okay. Did you guys pay for fare? How did they even get in?
Walk the dog.
You're not wrong.
He's been cooped up all day. Do you really think so? I won't lie, I wasn't sure how I'd do it.
Probably should walk the dog.
They actually are really similar. That's so
Cooped up all
cute.
day.
I kind of love it. Someone get that man a hearing aid. Now we're back in Clint's world. Interesting. So it's like there's sound, but it's just so incredibly muffled. You can't answer that, Clint.
Maybe, do you have time to text? Can you text? Can you text me? Nathaniel? Nathaniel? What are you...
Aw.
What are you
Thanks
doing?
for the help, sweetie.
There might be a little delay, but it's kind of a bad connection.
This is actually kind of sad, you guys. I feel like as a parent, that would be the one thing that would hurt the most is like not being able to hear the people you love anymore.
I'm not going to make it, but I think I'll be back in the next day or so.
They're used to it, unfortunately. Very reminiscent of what
Hey,
military families go through too.
I'm so happy to hear your voice. I love you more. Goodbye.
Don't cry, Clint! That's frustrating as hell!
Thank you.
Someone get that man a hearing aid for real though. Right? Do they look like the kind of people who would actually learn sign? Okay, so her dad was a gangster. I mean, it doesn't make it suck any less. It's getting sticky.
Give me 5 minutes. Cash only.
Thank you.
At least she's able to help. Does she not know that he's Hawkeye? I mean, he got a free meal the other day. He can't just fix my hearing aid, you know, because I saved New York. I'd be using that all the time. I'm sorry.
This is the moment I become who I'm supposed to be.
I remember the day I thought the same thing. It comes with a price.
Right?
What does?
This life.
The life.
You need a more recognizable costume.
He doesn't want.
My job for the last 20 years was to be not recognizable.
Thank you.
Oh, you picture this?
No. It's a no. It's a hard no.
Not happening.
Right?
Okay.
It's a no. Let's leave the costume making to Tony Stark's daughter. She should be old enough to do that soon.
There are several reasons why I never wear a flashy costume. My job is to be, number one, a ghost.
Yes.
My wife would divorce me if I put something like this on.
Right? I actually have a family.
Number three, I'm not a role model. I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not a role model to anyone.
You don't actually get to decide that?
Never have.
That's the thing about role models, actually.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that my mom might be marrying a murderer.
And then there's that.
He's like, not my problem. Sucks for you, but you're rich. You'll be all right.
Little Caesar. Dogfather.
Not bad. How about Winky?
Right, so I take it these tracksuit guys are into some pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, bad stuff.
You care to elaborate?
Not really.
If you don't know, you don't need to know.
There's too many coincidences. He was at the auction that night, and yesterday he offered me a butterscotch.
Not exactly.
You have to follow through with that.
The Jack thing is weird. I get it. But it's not exactly airtight.
Right.
Right?
Which is why we need more evidence.
We?
And why we're gonna sneak into my mom's pet house.
Wait, we?
Wait.
Right, like how is this my problem?
There's gotta be info on the tracksuits and Jack in there.
Yeah.
I suppose that justifies it. But I don't know why I have to be part of your whole family drama, ma'am. You rich folk do all kinds of weird stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, Clint lives on a farm. No Avengers payout, no retirement program.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong business.
Right? Clint's like, your life is so hard. Well, I can see why you want to be a vigilante so bad.
Crap. Now there's an embedded heart.
You should notice those swords that he's put all over the house there, Clint. Nothing?
And I've just been locked out.
Uh-oh. The dog's been very quiet. Like, too quiet.
Don't move.
That's my sword, you bastard. Interesting. I just feel like there's absolutely no way he doesn't know that Clint's Clint. If he's buying all this stuff, he's got to know like who the Avengers are. All right, guys, that was episode 3 of Hawkeye, and this was like, I like this episode. We're starting to finally see the merge of the two worlds, the two Hawkeyes starting to, you know, we're starting to see why these two would work as, you know, successor and successee, I guess you could say. So like I said, Kate was very bumbly, very much the person you're kind of like, oh my God, like I feel the enthusiasm, but dial it back in the first couple episodes. But this is where we're starting to see more of her shine. And of course we saw Clint did not want that initially. He was really just trying to wrap this up and be home by dinner. But thankfully he realized, okay, we got to work together here. It is nice to have somebody else who he, you know, she's not a damsel in distress by any stretch, right? She actually does have skills. She just needs a little bit of field practice, you could say. She needs a little bit more experience. And of course, Clint has a absolute like library of experience about between the archery and all the moves. And of course, we see that Kate, she is a good archer. She is good at what she does, but you know, Clint's just got that little extra je ne sais quoi that he can help her to just kind of bring it to the next level. I really like the way he was just like calling out to her, like, you know, use this arrow here, aim there, shoot there. The USB arrow, I can't. But it was good. And I feel like the other thing that was great about that is I don't think Clint's really ever had someone he can communicate with about the same types of things. With Kate, he can literally talk about arrows and shots and all these kinds of things that are kind of very unique to Clint's world. And I think he's starting to realize that they do have this common ground, and it's really kind of breaking down a couple of walls for him. That kind of makes it really fun. And like I said, it kind of makes you see how this relationship can actually develop as she starts to slowly take on this persona of the next Hawkeye. But outside of that, we finally got a look at who might potentially be our antagonist for the rest of the season, Maya. But she's a little badass. Like, I'm really loving the representation of, I'm not sure if this actress actually is deaf. I should look that up. But I like the representation and the fact that Marvel took the opportunity to use Clint's loss of hearing as a way to segue into having another character like this, because I think it's really just an important thing in this day and age to show that there are different types of abilities and different types of people out there who can still be badasses and do really cool things in this universe, and they don't necessarily have to be, you know, like everybody else. And this will be like the second time we've seen somebody who's like this in a show. Like, what was the last one I just watched the other day that had somebody who is also the Eternals, same thing, an actress. We had a deaf actress who was also on The Walking Dead, who got to be a superhero. So I'm really liking that Marvel is opening up this world and bringing in more people, like I said, of different types of abilities to play these types of roles and get to do these sorts of things. I love that her father very much raised her to think that it doesn't matter that she doesn't have a leg, it doesn't matter that she can't hear. She is still a badass. She's still capable of doing whatever she puts her mind to, and we see that she is a very perceptive young lady. I like that she's very much like, I feel empowered in my deafness, as she should, but also the fact that she broke the hearing aid, I think was very much reminiscent of her little childhood flashback there, where she didn't like necessarily being in the hearing school. She wanted to be amongst other people who were like her. We now see, though, why Maya has got a definite reason to have a vendetta against the Ronin. I mean, it looks like her dad, despite being a good and caring dad, he was mixed up in some dangerous stuff. And like I said, it doesn't mean that what Clint did was right, but you know, we know now why that happened. And so Maya's definitely got a very righteous vengeance mission. I don't know if anything will change if she finds out it's Clint, because again, I think she doesn't know who the Ronin is. She doesn't know what Clint's about. A lot of people in the wide world don't realize that Clint is just like when he's not out there shooting arrows miraculously, he's just a dad with 3 kids. I don't think that Maya's going to be successful, but it definitely makes for a good villain. And again, one that's going to be very easy to empathize with, which is nice. And just coming back to the kids now that that I mentioned it, I think it's just important to mention that really beautiful scene where Kate translates, or interprets, I should say, for Clint, because of course he can't hear. His son has called him, and his, it's his 5-year-old. So of course his 5-year-old, while he probably could text to some degree, calling is a lot easier. And I just love that, Kate just jumped in and just helped him and didn't think twice about helping Clint get through that awkward moment. But that vulnerability that Clint had to show in that moment of how helpless he is right now without his hearing aid, and also, like I said, I think just the most heartbreaking part of that to me was this is the things that he's going to miss now. Hearing the voice of his wife, hearing the voice of his children, those are things that we don't, if we're hearing, we often take for granted. And the fact that he's losing that and how that's affecting his life, it was just a really beautiful and vulnerable moment. And I just love how he just kind of thanked Kate at the end. I think that really helped also Kate to realize that, this man has been on a bit of a pedestal for her whole life. And I think that moment really humanized Clint for her. If anything, that moment kind of probably lifted it even more as to why she thinks she picked the right role model, especially out of all the flashy Avengers. So that was a great episode 3, guys. I definitely enjoyed watching it. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please hit that like button, and we will see you in the next episode.